All right, guys. So the Jets fall to the winless, super injured Denver Broncos and fall to 0-4 to start the season, 28-37. We stink. We stink. Oh God, it's going to be hard to get a win coming up here in this next stretch of games. Let me rattle off the schedule just so you guys are aware. We got the Cardinals next week, the Chargers, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Patriots. That is looking a hell of a lot like 0-9, if you're asking me. The Dolphins are probably a crapshoot. Then we go into the bye week, and then we get the Dolphins again. So we may not see another relatively winnable game until week 10, and even then, it's probably a little bit of a long shot here. I quick takeaways from the game, I guess. What am I thinking? This has to be the best worst game I've ever seen a cornerback play. Like Desir almost had 3 interceptions in this game, but I think he played absolutely horribly the entire game. The 2 interceptions he had, I think, were just on really poor throws by a very young third string quarterback. One was a throwaway, just you should have thrown away further. The touchdown to Jerry Jeudy definitely should have been intercepted. I thought that was just a flub up on his part. They can't knock the guy too much. Dude got a touchdown, but I still think he's a pretty bad corner from what we've seen this year. Sam, oh my God. When I saw that they brought Lamar Jackson up from the practice squad, I did not expect to see Lamar Jackson, the quarterback, run around out there. I don't know exactly what Sam's rushing stats were, but at one point we had, I think just in the first half, he had 193 all-purpose yards, and that touchdown run was awesome. Now, there's a few things I did like about the play calling. I did like a little bit more hurry up. I did like seeing the play actions. I like seeing Sam roll out a lot more. That said, I don't think the play calling was very good. I think a lot of the plays where we had success was Sam making a lot out of nothing. For me, it's hard to look at Sam and think he's really a bad quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's just playing with no talent around him. And it was nice to get Crowder and Smith back. I think the two of them were kind of a shot in the arm. I think that's the only reason the offense, that mixed with a terrible Broncos secondary, are the reason we kind of saw a little bit more life out of the pass game this week. My heart sank for Sam when he got tackled after a huge touchdown run. I'm like, oh my God, we're Super Bowl, we're going Super Bowl. I'm going nuts. I'm going crazy for this run. And then all of a sudden, the next series, Sam gets tackled and slammed down on his shoulder, and I'm just like, oh my God, he broke his collarbone. This is the last snap I'm going to see with Sam Darnold as a Jet. Like, his season's done. I was like, we're getting Trevor Lawrence. I was crushed. Becca's walking around behind me. She's like, what just happened? I was like, Sam. I love Sam, and he's broken. Oh man. Okay. The questions are really going to start to heat up. Are we talking Adam Gase getting fired? I know there was the protection. Oh no, Adam Gase is not going to fire. His job's safe regardless of what happens Thursday. Now, Odell Beckham Jr. was not going to get traded. Jamal Adams was a Jet for life. Let's wait and see this out. The Johnsons have never fired a coach mid-season, so you kind of got to take that with a grain of salt. And I'm not so sure firing Gase does much right now. Like, is Jim Bob Cooter going to really spark this offense? I would like to believe so. I would like to see Gase and Loggins gone. I think they're not really helping Sam out here. I think a lot of it has to do with just getting healthy. Getting Bell, getting Perriman, getting Mims back on the field, I think is going to be a big shot in the arm for the Jets. Now, I see you guys talking in the chat. We want to get rid of Gase, but then we also don't want to get rid of Gase because maybe we want that first overall pick. We get rid of Gase. Now all of a sudden we're like, oh geez, we might win some games. No, I think even if you get rid of Gase, I think it's going to be an uphill battle for the Jets. this might be a 2-win team. I really don't know if we're going to get 2 wins this year. I mean, you could argue we don't get any wins. That's how bad this is going to be. Other things, the injuries. Oh, God, the left tackle. You have Udoka to start the game. He played in like 3 snaps before coming out with an injury, and then you see Becton go out there, and I'm like, all right, not huge on having Becton out there if he's hurt. We got McDermott. Let's kind of send him out there. But I was excited to see Becton play. Wanted to see that. Then he gets injured. He gets knocked out again. Now, worst thing that could possibly happen is he absolutely wrecks his shoulder, and now extends his injury beyond just this week. Yeah, I think if he had sat the full game this week, he's probably good to go against the Cardinals next week. So didn't like that. I thought the offensive line was so-so today. I think McGovern and Van Roten just seem like they are overmatched and overpowered for every matchup we go against. And that's really disheartening for me because I really like McGovern. I thought he was going to be really good. I thought we were getting a top 10 center when we signed him from Denver last year. So not thrilled with what we're getting out of him right now. Injury-wise, Udoka, Austin, Becton, Cager, Jenkins. The list goes on and on. We're just dropping like flies. And even like the Denver players, they're saying the MetLife field is just butchering guys. Now the NFLPA and the NFL both came out and tested the field. The field's supposed to be fine. It's in good shape. It's not. It's a fresh turf, but they've deemed it within within spec or whatever. It's not an issue with the field. Man, a defense ravaged by injuries, and you can only muster up 1 touchdown on offense. I don't think that's very good. That's pretty terrible. The penalties were absolutely huge today. I'll have to go back and see exactly how many we had, but the first half alone, we had 83 penalties. We had 8 penalties for 83 yards. 83 yards worth of yardage given back to the Denver Broncos on top of giving them first downs. For unsportsmanlike, or not unsportsmanlike conduct, but on roughing the passers and those 15-yard varieties. I want to say we had like 5 or 6 of them tonight. We had 4, I think, in the first half. Quinnen Williams looked really disruptive. Unfortunately, the one hand. I didn't think the late hit on the quarterback was really bad. I didn't think that was a great call. I guess because he put all his weight down on him. That's why they threw the flag. The one in the second half where he grabbed the face mask, the back end, and he pulled a little bit. I thought that was just going to be called for hands to the face. I didn't see him pull the face mask until they did it in slow-mo. But it was a face mask for sure, so not great there. David, thank you for the super chat. He says, stayed up until 5 a.m. to watch this. At least it was some scoring. I mean, it was a pretty terrible game. I don't want to say terrible game. I don't know. It was woof. It was 0-3 and 0-3. They're calling this not week 4. They're calling it week bore. You have 4 teams in primetime slots that don't have any wins. Jets, Denver, Eagles, and Falcons are all playing this week. Don't have a single win. I see you guys saying bring Rex back. I love me some Rex, but no thank you. Austin Chavez, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. If you got a question, post it in there because I'll try to catch it. I don't see anything in there. Other things I noticed throughout the game. Balaj cannot block. He had a nice catch to get us out of I believe it was a 3rd and 3 or something like that. But man, he almost got Sam killed on like 2 different plays. The sack at the end of the 3rd was all because he whiffed on that pretty friggin' hard. Matt Curtis says, thank God for the Yankees. I had my Yankees shirt on underneath my Jonathan Vilma jersey tonight. That's what I was wearing. I got to have a little bit of winning mixed in with this sad sack of a team. This team or 95, it's close. Ooh, Brian DeCarlos saying which team's worse. This is a really bad team. I mean, that 95 team was awful. We got the first pick. Man, I don't know. This is a rough team. I don't feel like we have any hope until we get some of our guys back from injury. Guys, we got 49 likes in here. We have close to 400 people. Just drop a like on this. If you drop a like, it helps people come into the post game after the fact because they will see a bunch of likes and they'll be like, oh, I got to tune in next time. So if you want to see Adam Gase fired or you want to see, maybe you don't want to see the Jets play well, I don't know. If you want to see Adam Gase fired, drop a like. That tends to get the most likes. Shamik, thank you for a super chat. He says, the offense was okay. Sam makes mistakes he shouldn't be making in year 3. I hate the sacks he takes. Yeah, look, there's a few plays that I'd like to see Sam make. I think some of it has to do with the confidence that is his offensive line. I think some of it is the confidence in his playmakers. And then I think some of it is just bad decision making. So you'll catch a little bit of all of that. It's hard to really grade him too much because of just the lack of everything around him. It feels like he was the best player on the field today, and it was just him running around like crazy trying to make plays. He feels like he was playing backyard football. The best plays we have are when they break apart and he just, makes stuff up on the fly. Thank you for the super chat, HV8019. Can we really blame Gase for this loss? I don't think so. It felt like we just didn't have talent. But at the same time, you should be able to scheme guys open. It was nice to see Crowder and Smith back. That's really my kind of takeaway from this. It felt like that was a nice little boost of energy. Can we blame Gase? I would like to see Sam in the hurry up a lot more. I think he's really good in the hurry up, and I think we're not taking advantage of it the way we probably should be. Mike Lee, thank you for the super chat. He says, WTB, passing touchdowns for the Jets. Make it happen. Yeah, we need to see some, passing touchdowns here. It's getting ugly real fast. Our passing game is atrocious. I want to say we have the 3rd lowest yards per completion, I believe. I think we have the lowest points per game. Maybe that changes today because we had 28 points. I don't know. It's pretty ugly. Where did I see that other one? Yeah, guys. This is not the way you want to see this Jets team perform unless you want Trevor Lawrence or the first pick. Now, for what I'm kind of looking at right now, I think Sam is still a good quarterback. I really want to see him with all his weapons sort of healthy. Just give him a little bit of a fighting chance. I would prefer at this point in time that we hold on to Sam and trade the number 1 pick for a haul. Now, if Sam continues to make bad decisions throughout the rest of the year, if it doesn't seem like he is progressing, if the footwork's a little, shaky, then I think you have to pull the trigger on the quarterback. Or if Sam goes down and gets injured, I think you kind of have to make that call. It's tough. Douglas is going to have a tough offseason for sure. You guys saying, let's trade Sam. Juju Smith-Schuster was the one that came out and said he would love to play with Sam again in Pittsburgh. He loves Ben, though. Juju, I'm glad you said that because at the end of the season, I really want you in green and white. Now, it would suck if we get him and then they trade him to the Steelers or something like that. That would kind of throw things for a loop. But, God, everyone's talking about Trevor Lawrence. This is going to be a very, very long week, a very long 10 days, and a very long season because I think we're just going to keep hearing these Trevor Lawrence rumors. I think we're going to get these number 1 pick, get rid of Sam type rumors, and I don't particularly love it. I do want Sam to play well, and I want him to be the answer. I don't want to have to look for another quarterback. I mean, I guess you just waltz into one if you have the number 1 overall pick. One thing we have to worry about for the Jets is the Jets have such a hard strength of schedule right now that we need to lose every game for us to actually have a shot at getting the number 1 pick. If we wind up tying with another team, chances of us getting the number 1 pick are slim to none. We have the hardest schedule in the league or something like that. It's pretty bad. Steven Sanchez, thank you for the super chat. What do you think about bringing Shoddy back as the head coach? I don't particularly want to see that. I'll be honest, I haven't followed him. I don't even know where he is right now. I would prefer Greg Roman. I think Greg Roman has a connection with Joe Douglas with the Ravens kind of thing. And then he seems to mold his offense around the quarterback that he has. We've seen him build a good offense around Tyrod Taylor, Colin Kaepernick, Lamar Jackson, Alex Smith. I think Sam Darnold is in that same kind of vein. And the way he was running this past week, this past game, he's got some legs. Let's get this cat moving a little bit more. Let's open up some options. I think we're going to go hard after offensive weapons this offseason. We're going to have $80 million in cap space and a ton of draft picks. This team will look completely different next year. So I'm saying, like, kind of hold on, hang on tight, and just sort of, just wait. Let's see what happens. Let's wait and see. Juan Pablo, where is it? Where'd that go? Juan Pablo Reynoso Moraga. Sorry. Why always run the A gap? The game plan was boring. Yeah, I don't like running Gore as much as we are. I mean, I think he only had like maybe 12 carries tonight. But even that feels like, he should be running up the A gap when it's short yardage situations. I like seeing P. Ryan. I think I'd like to see a little more screens with P. Ryan. I think that's where he could kind of shine. Maybe our offensive line is just not very good at it right now. I mean, God, McGovern and Van Roten, they've been rough. They have been very rough to watch this whole season. Big Green Nick George, thank you for the super chat. He says, how did Sam do in your opinion other than some of the sacks? I thought he was carrying the team. 100%. This game is not even close if Sam is not that quarterback, because he was absolutely carrying the team. That run was no joke. That was incredible. Most of his runs, he got like over 8 yards running, like probably 5 or 6 times tonight. It was really impressive to watch him maneuver around. His pocket presence is, I'm going to say elite. Maybe that's the wrong term because we've just had such bad quarterbacks for so long, but I really liked what I saw out of Sam Darnold and his pocket presence and his ability to escape pressure and use his legs. I think this is the Sam that I thought we would see last year, but we didn't get to, and I think that was probably more the mono thing, like, hey, keep yourself healthy, don't be running around the way like you might want to. Let's see who we got in here. I feel Austin Chavez, thank you for the super chat. He says, I feel Gase should be gone after this game. His play calling, especially on that 2-point conversion, was atrocious. As for Sam, I feel bad for him. Yeah, the 2-point conversion play was really bad. I should have touched on that earlier. That was a really awful play call. I don't know if Sam was supposed to roll out like that. He turned his back completely to the end zone at one point and rolled out, and then, you took away half the field. Like, what the heck? That didn't make any sense to me. I think there's a lot better plays you could run in that situation. Shamik Schneider, thank you for the super chat again. Offense might be okay when everyone comes back, but Williams and this defense has been just as bad, or do we play prevent and hope for goal line stop? The defense has been atrocious. We have not been able to stop a nosebleed this whole season. We've just had the ball run down our throats. The big factors in that are definitely losing Jamal Adams and C.J. Mosley. Mosley, I think, would clean up a lot of the issues we're seeing. And Jamal just sort of like wreaked havoc, last year. So while I don't think having Jamal necessarily wins us any games, I mean, maybe this game because it was close for so long, you might have had a shot. But yeah, Williams' defense is really bad. You can see just how much we need a pass rusher when you see us not gaining any pressure. Now, I do like Quinnen Williams. I have enjoyed watching him this season. I think he's turning a corner, and I'm really excited to see what we get with him the rest of the way out. It looks like he's turning into that disruptive force up the A gap that we really wanted to see. So fingers crossed that kind of continues there. Goal line. Jeremy Mueller, thank you for the super chat. He says, is Greg Williams a bad defensive coordinator? I don't think he's a bad defensive coordinator. He made, lemon out of lemonade last year with a lot of the terrible, I don't want to say, with a lot of bad players last year. I think he did pretty solid. What we're seeing this year is just a pure lack of weapons and just talent on that defense. It's bad drafting. Desir is playing way worse than you would really think that he would play. I said it earlier in the stream, and for those of you that weren't here, I have never seen a better terrible performance than what Desir put on tonight. He almost had 3 interceptions. The dude gave up 2 touchdowns. He scored a touchdown. And I still feel like he's a very bad corner. It's like I don't come away, even with touchdown and nearly 3 picks, he just doesn't look good. He looks like a bad corner. who knows? The guy's got a knack for being around the ball. I'll give him that. Or maybe it's, Williams putting him in good positions. But I think that was more terrible decision-making from a rookie, or not rookie, but a really young quarterback in Ripon, or however you say that name. Multiples, thank you for the super chat. He says, can I ask, why were the Jets trying to recreate the Bounty Gate? It's ridiculous. Fire Gase and Williams. Look, this has been a very, very rough season to watch. He says $6.66. It's a sign of the devil. That Adam Gase character, get him the hell out of here. Look, Gase is not doing himself any favors. Williams is not doing himself any favors. I think what's going to happen is you'll see these guys get fired at the end of the season. I don't know if we'll lose Gase right now. I think it might be a bad look to fire a coach with so many injuries, but the offense looks inept. It really does, and I think that mostly falls on Adam Gase here. Guys, we got over 420 people in the chat. If you want to see Adam Gase fired, drop a like. I hear that helps the Adam Gase firing. That's what I've heard. If you guys want to get one yourselves, a Just End the Suffering shirt, I have them for sale in the Jets Talk store down below. You guys can snag yourself one of those. I had a bunch of people from the channel pick them up already, so get them while they're hot. Christopher Levington, thank you for the super chat. He says, bro, Sam is sacrificing his body to show he wants to stay. Fire Gase. What does his staff need to see that Sam is trying to carry us? Hashtag enough is enough. I completely agree with that. This feels very much like Sam came out angry after last week. We know he had a terrible game last week. 3 interceptions. Game really got out of hand for us. This week, he came out angry. That run was like, I'm going to make something happen here. He should have been sacked. There was no way he should have ran like that. He is way faster than I give him credit for. Yeah, the dude's got moves. Did you see some of those cuts? I thought for sure the Lamar Jackson that we called up off the practice squad was the Lamar Jackson down in Baltimore, not the Lamar Jackson, the cornerback. I love me some Sam. That's my quarterback. My quarterback. I'm going to pull a little T.O. I'm going to cry a little bit. Suit and Tie 27, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, we just lost to a team decimated by injuries, actually twice now, so I won't use that as an excuse. The Jets lost to a terrible Denver team. This is a team that the Jets needed to beat if they want to get a win this season, and I really, really think we have a strong shot of going 0-16. That's hard to do, but with this schedule, this is one of the harder schedules in the NFL. So you got to take that with a slight grain of salt. We went from playing the easiest schedule last year, or one of like the top 3 easiest schedules, to playing the hardest schedule this year. And you got to remember too, last year the 7-9 record, those last 2 wins, I've harped on it before, the Steelers game, the Bills game. It's hard to call those wins when you play a third-string quarterback and the Bills backups the last 2 weeks of the season. So that game, the team really should be looking at 5-11 last year, and this year you would have hoped they would have progressed a little bit. But man, this is rough. This is way rougher than I would have ever expected. I thought we would go 7-9, 8-8. If everything clicked and fired on all cylinders, you could say a halfway decent shot at getting into the playoffs. If they had that 7th team, boy, how times have changed pretty frickin' quickly. Mumtaz, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, Gase done. I'll put it this way. They were saying he wasn't in danger of losing his job. Now, we also heard Odell Beckham wasn't going to get traded away from the Giants. We heard Jamal Adams was going to be a lifetime Jet. So I don't necessarily buy everything that I hear coming out of the front office. I think we could definitely see Gase get canned. This would be when I would do it. I think after this game you have enough time to kind of implement an offense for the Cardinal game, or at least adjust it enough. I don't know if they're going to do it. I think Chris Johnson put way too much stock in Adam Gase, calling him an offensive mastermind or an offensive genius or guru or however you want to say he worded it. I think there's a pride thing there, and I think he'll wait. And sort of under this disguise of, when you fire a coach midseason, it doesn't really make other head coaches want to come to your team. If you let him just burn through the rest of the season, as bad as it's going to be, I think that looks better for head coaches. Like, okay, you know what? If I'm in a struggling position, I don't have to worry about my job if I take that job with the Jets. So that's like a little glimmer of hope. But I think you really need to know what you have in Sam Darnold. I think that's more important than what a coach thinks their job security could be if they were to take this job. I think the Jets are going to be attractive enough anyway if they wind up with the first pick, with $80 million in cap space, with 2 first-round picks, 2 third-round picks, 2 fifth-round picks. The Jets are armed well to get a new head coach in here if they want. So do the right thing. Try to figure out what Sam is. Is he your franchise quarterback? I really think he is. I think he's legit. And I know a lot of people are going to be upset with that. But whatever. Shoddy is OC with Seattle. Does that change your mind? I really like Seattle, but I don't know if that's a Russell Wilson thing. Russell Wilson's filthy. I think Russell might be the best quarterback in the league this year. You could probably argue Mahomes. You could argue Aaron Rodgers, but Wilson has his team rolling right now. If that's Shoddy, sure. I don't know if Shoddy wants to come back to the Jets. It's not like he was given, the best treatment necessarily. Shamik Scheider, last one. I blame Douglas for letting Becton play, not Gase. Protect your investment. I don't know if Douglas has a say in guys playing. I think Gase still makes the on-field decisions. I think Douglas just picks the team. But yeah, I agree. Look, I don't think Becton should have played today. As much as I want to see him play, and I want to see him get as many reps as possible, and I really get excited when I see him play, I think you're endangering your franchise left tackle, because I think that's what he is. I think he's going to wind up being the best left tackle from this draft class, just from what we've seen in these short 4-week period. And what is better than having Becton go against some of the top pass rushers in the league right out of the gate? Right out of the gate. And he's been handling it lights out. Multiples. Thanks for the super chat. Man, you're throwing all different kinds of super chats in there. I got a $6.66 one, and I got a $5.06 one. I love it. Noticed when Desir gave up a touchdown, the DB coach went and talked to him. Get a quarterback coach for Sam and a real head coach. By the way, you said my name wrong. It's Mutviles. Mutviles. Multiples. This is my dyslexia. I don't have dyslexia. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I've been saying your name wrong probably the entire time that you've been following this channel. I always thought it was so. Mutviles. I'm probably going to call you multiples. Sorry. Yeah, look, we need a quarterback coach. We need someone that can help Sam out when he's struggling, and it's not Adam Gase. It just is not. There's no way I can justify Adam Gase being that type of presence on the sideline. I thought it was just terrible. I don't think he's good. I think he's terrible. I would get him out of here. Iraq Polk, thank you so much for the super chat. I didn't see a question in there. I'll try to scroll up and try to find it. So thank you for the super chat. There you go. Do you think Le'Veon and Mims stay hurt now? I don't know if that was your question or not, but yeah. Look, Green Bean brought it up the one time on one of the panels. He said guys that get injured tend to play through injuries on good teams. When you're on a bad team, you tend to go on IR. You need to protect your investment, which is your body. It is the only thing you have that'll get you through this game and get you a new contract and get you, another guaranteed year. You do not get guaranteed contracts in the NFL, not the way you do in other sports. So, yes, I do think that players that are injured that aren't necessarily buying into Adam Gase, I think they're going to have, I don't want to say phantom injuries, but I think they're going to have really, they won't have the pain threshold they might otherwise have if they played for the Chiefs or the Ravens or the, insert any good team there. Yeah, guys. So that's my takeaways. I'll come out with my 5 takeaway video as well, so that way any of you that want to kind of recap without watching a, a half-hour live stream at this point. Very excited to see Sam moving forward. I thought the running round was awesome. I think the injuries are a big concern with the offensive line, the wide receivers. Losing Cager, I don't know if it was that bad. I didn't see him come back in. Yes, Kaiser, I just want to end the suffering. I am here. I will be your pilot. I am here to help you end your suffering. Desir equals bad. That's what this says up here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. Desir equals bad. All my notes, and then he could have had 3 interceptions. I've never seen a more terrible play, a terrible good game from someone than what I saw out of Desir. I thought Crowder and Smith were great coming back. I think they were both a shot in the arm for us, and I think a defense ravaged by injuries for that Bronco team should have been able to get taken advantage of, and we just did not do it. Guys, let me know what you think down below. Shoot me up, hit me up some comments, and drop a like. We got 400 people in here. Come on, I got to get this over 200 likes. I know you can. I know we can do it. But guys, that's it for me. I got to put together my top 5 takeaway video, and I will have that out probably either really late tonight or really early tomorrow morning. We shall see. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Jets Talk post game. I'll be here next week talking after the Cardinals game. So guys, JETS.